At my 70th birthday, a young man I'd never seen before raised his glass. "To my father," he said, and placed a DNA report on the table. "Match, 99.9%. My family went silent. They understood what that meant. Every dollar, every property, every piece of my life could now belong to the son they'd never met. My name is Henry Cole. I was a machinist for 40 years, a shop owner for 20, and a husband to Ruth for 50 until her heart gave out 7 winters ago. I am a grandfather to 3, a man who writes checks by hand, and a man who keeps his promises even when no one is watching. I live in the same house where Ruth and I raised our daughter, Laura. I still mow the lawn in straight lines. I still eat oatmeal at 6. I am not perfect, but I work steady, and I try to be fair. I did not expect what happened on my 70th birthday. I did not expect my own table to turn on me. The living room watched me like a witness. It was late afternoon. Balloons were tied to the chair Ruth used to like. The cake was out, the kind with thick white frosting and my name in red. The young man stood straight, hands still, and his eyes were not loud. He looked like he had come to tell the truth and take whatever came with it. No one moved. Laura's face did a small thing first. Her eyes went from the paper to me and back. It was a calculation. Then Brent, her husband, cleared his throat. He smiled, the kind of smile meant for other people in the room, not for me. "That is a stunt," he said, casual, like he was talking about a parking ticket. He reached across the table, but the young man placed his hand on the paper, firm but not rough. "Alex," he said. "My name is Alex." I took a breath. I kept my seat. My heart was steady, which surprised me. I had lived long enough to know you cannot stop a fact by getting loud. I thought of Ruth. She had told me once, years ago, that the past was a locked room and people who needed to get in would find a way. I looked at Alex and saw Ruth's gray eyes there, not the color but the calm. The grandchildren were ushered to the kitchen by my sister, who murmured something about ice cream. Laura put a hand out and said, "We should talk as a family." Her voice was soft, but it had an edge like paper-cutting skin. "As a family," Brent said again, louder, looking around as if to collect the room. "We will address this legally. Dad, do you want me to handle it?" He said it like I had already said yes. I did not answer. I looked at Alex. He did not look away. "Let me speak," I said. My voice sounded older than I felt. "I did not know about you, Alex." I felt a small ache in my chest, and then a quiet. "But I will hear you." Laura stepped closer to me. "Dad, this is not the time." "It is exactly the time," Alex said, and his voice had no anger in it. "I have proof. I have had it for years. I waited until your birthday because I wanted the family to see I was not hiding." He slid the DNA report an inch toward me. I saw the lab name and the numbers. I did not know why my hands shook. I tucked them under the table. I thought of what this would mean. Not the money. The trust. The voice in my house. Brent leaned over the table, still smiling. "All right," he said. "Enough of this theater." He reached for the paper with 2 fingers like it was already his. I stayed seated and watched who moved first. After the cake, the air turned thick. People put on coats. Laura hovered. Brent collected plates he did not care about. Alex stood by the window, hands in his pockets. He looked like a man trying to be small in a room where he did not belong. Laura bent close to me. "Dad," she whispered, "this will confuse the estate. You have plans. You have responsibilities. You cannot let a stranger walk in and blow this up." "He is not a stranger to me," I said. My voice felt steady. I was surprised by that. "He says he is your son," she said. "He is not my brother." "We have a structure. We need to keep that. You have been tired. You have been forgetful." She looked over my shoulder at Brent as if passing a baton. Brent sat down next to me and slid a sheet from a manila folder. A photocopy. It was a care agreement. My signature was on the bottom in jagged strokes. "This is just to keep the house in order," he said. "We signed last month. Do you remember? You said it was easier if I handled the house and the bills. A simple transfer of duties." I looked at the signature. It was my name. It was also wrong. The line had a slant mine did not have. I felt heat crawl up my neck. I told myself not to show it. "I signed my name the same way I have for 50 years, I said. "That looks like me." "It is not me, Dad," Laura said, gentle now. "You do not have to be ashamed of needing help. It is our house now. Our burden. Let us take care of you. Let us handle surprises. Our house." The way she said it made my stomach turn. "There will be no surprises," Brent said, flat. "We will meet a lawyer. We will respond to that report." He curled his finger at the DNA paper and laughed without sound. "And we will keep the house stable." "You asked for that." He reached for my phone. "Let me set up the appointment. I will keep your calendar clean." I pulled my hand back. He smiled like we were sharing a joke. "Come on, Dad. Do not make this awkward." I thought of Ruth sitting on the sofa with a book. I thought of her voice. I felt a hard edge form in my chest. I did not trust Brent. I was not sure if I trusted my own memory. That scared me more than his smile. I stood, a little slow. "I need air," I said. "Go ahead," Laura said. "We will tidy." "Yes," Brent said, already tapping my phone. "We got it." I walked to the porch. The air had turned cool. A shadow stood by the porch light. It was the young man. It was Alex. He was waiting. We stood under the porch light that made everything look a little washed out. The street was quiet. I could hear my own breath. Alex held his hands in front of him like a man approaching a stray dog. "Careful. No sudden moves." "I should have called first," he said. I did not know how else to do it. I did not want to hide. "People in there will say you did," I said. "I know," he said. "It is their right to doubt. It is my right to show up." He took a folded sheet from his pocket. It was a copy of the first letter he had sent years ago, the one I never saw. The postmark was old. The name on the envelope was mine, but the street number was off by one. Someone along the way had tossed it or kept it. He did not accuse. He just showed me the thing. "I have more," he said. "I will not push them at you tonight. I wanted you to know my name, Alex. I wanted you to hear Ruth's name from me. My mother said your wife was kind to her once. She carried that story until she died. Hearing Ruth's name from him did something to me. It unlocked the ache and then settled it. I studied his face. I saw the shape of my father's jaw. I saw nothing cruel. "Why now?" I asked. "Because I finished school. Because I have a steady job. Because I did not want to come to you empty and ask for anything. I am not here for money. I am here because I should have known you, and because you should have known me." He spoke slow. He did not reach for the door. He did not ask to come in. He was careful with the ground he was standing on. Inside the house, I heard a drawer slide shut, then another. Laura's voice, low. Brent's laugh, higher. I felt old anger wake up, the kind that does not shout. It just takes notes. "I do not know what I will do," I said. "I will hear you. That is all I can promise." "That is enough for me," he said. He put a small card in my hand, his number. I folded it and put it in my shirt pocket. He made a small nod and stepped back. "If you need me, call. If you do not, I will not come again uninvited." "That is fair," I said. From inside I heard my name in Brent's voice, bright and cheerful, like a bell someone rings too often. "Dad? Come back in when you are ready." I looked at the door, then at Alex. He lifted 2 fingers in a small goodbye and walked toward the sidewalk. I watched him go. I put my hand on the door handle. Brent called my name again, his voice even brighter than before. I went back into my house. The lights were too bright. The cake was cut into sad squares. Plates were stacked high. Laura smiled at me without warmth. Brent had my phone in his hand like it had always been his. "We were just putting things away," Laura said, "so you can rest. You have had a big day." "I am not tired," I said. It was not completely true. I was tired of being handled. That is a different kind of tired. Brent held up my phone. "I put the lawyer on for Monday," he said. "Routine. We will get ahead of this. I took off the passcode to make it easier. You always forget it." He laughed a little, as if we were sharing something friendly. I reached for the phone. He did not give it to me at first. Then he did. Slow. The screen was open. Messages blinked from people I did not know. I felt a small panic I did not show. I set the phone down on the table without looking at him. "I will take my pills and call it a night," I said. I opened the little plastic case with the days on it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The Wednesday slot was empty. Today was Saturday. "I must have moved them," Laura said. She took the case from me and smiled like a nurse. "You mix them up sometimes. I can keep them for you if you want." I looked at her hand on my pills. I looked at Brent's hand on my chair back. I looked at the front door, which was now locked from the inside. It should not have been. "Leave it on the counter," I said. "I will manage." "Of course," she said, but she did not set it down. She put it in her tote bag with a soft thump. "Just for tonight." Guests left in a steady trickle. Hugs were brief. Eyes slid away from the table where the DNA report still lay under a napkin. My sister kissed my cheek and whispered, "Call me if you need me," in a way that told me she knew I would need her. When the last car lights faded, the house changed sound. The soft noises of my life were replaced by new ones. Brent walking like he owned the floorboards. Laura opening drawers she had no business in. The sliding rustle of file folders. The small clink of metal. "Rest, Dad," Brent called down the hall. "Big day." "We will handle everything." I went to my room and sat on the bed. I did not undress. I did not turn off the light. I looked at the nightstand where I kept little things that mattered. I opened it. My old pen lay there, steady as always. The small envelope with receipts lay there too. I put my hand on it. I thought of the card in my pocket with Alex's number. I thought of Ruth's name, said without greed. I lay back on the bed and stared at the ceiling. I listened. Somewhere in the house, a drawer shut. A chair rolled. Paper slid. Someone laughed. It did not sound like it belonged here. I kept my eyes open and counted the breaths until the house went still. Then I heard my study door open, slow and careful, like someone testing what they could take. Sunday morning, I woke up to an empty house sound. The quiet did not feel kind. I made coffee and stood at the kitchen window. The light on the lake was flat. My hands shook a little when I reached for the mug. I told myself to breathe. I told myself to think. Brent came in like the house belonged to him. "Realtor is coming at noon," he said. "Just to value the lake place. No decisions. Information only." He did not ask. He set it like a plate in front of me. "Cancel it," I said. Laura stepped in behind him, hair pulled tight, face smooth. "Dad, this is prudent." The market is strange. Knowing a number is harmless. Nothing about this felt harmless. Ruth and I had saved for that place one winter at a time. We hammered the dock ourselves. We burned our names in a small plank under the bench because it made us laugh. I kept that in my pocket like a tiny fire. "I will be at the lake," I said. "I will meet them there." "You cannot drive," Brent said. He dangled my key ring and smiled like a teacher with a confiscated toy. You misplace things. I have been helping. You asked me to. I did not, I said. The words came out low. He tucked the keys in his pocket. Safety. Laura put a hand on my shoulder. You have had a shock. Let us shield you. We are not the enemy here. I wanted to believe her. I looked for the girl who used to fall asleep on my chest after a fever. I did not see her. I saw a woman looking past me toward a sign that said, Mine. I need my keys, I said again. We will all go, Brent said, and then he laughed, as if it were generous. We can show the agent the best features. I took out my phone. It felt different in my hand since he removed the passcode. Messages I did not recognize popped up. My chest tightened. I thought of Ruth's voice. When you cannot make them behave, make yourself clear. I took Alex's card from my shirt pocket. I dialed his number. He picked up on the second ring. Mr. Cole, he said. Henry, I said. Can you come by? Yes, he said. Do you need me to bring anything? Just yourself, I said. I looked at Brent and Laura, busy now at my counter, moving the salt, the knives, like they were setting a stage. And come quick. Alex said he was 20 minutes away. I set the phone down. Outside, a cloud moved over the sun. The house dimmed a little. I did not touch my coffee again. I waited for a knock I would trust. Alex arrived with his jacket zipped and a folder under his arm. He paused at the doorway until I nodded. He came in like a guest who knew the rules. Good morning, he said to Laura and Brent. He did not offer his hand. He did not crowd them. He looked at me. Henry. Brent laughed once, short. So this is the boy. Alex opened the folder and slid it toward me. I said I had proof, he said. Not to fight you. To be clear, inside were 3 things. A note from Ruth that his mother had kept, about a kindness at our kitchen table. A printout of messages where Brent had asked a realtor to keep it quiet and move fast. And alerts from my bank about withdrawals I did not remember, taken in neat little bites. Where did you get those? Brent said. His face did a twitch he could not stop. Your number shows in the screenshots, Alex said. The agent forwarded them by mistake to a friend of mine. Small town. He said it like a fact, no heat. He kept his hands on the table, palms down, like he had nothing to hide. I read the lines. They were simple and ugly. I felt a calm sit down in me, the kind that comes when the lie stops being fog and turns into a shape with edges. I looked at Laura. She did not meet my eyes, her jaw set. You forged my name, I said to Brent. Just that, no more. It is for the family, he said. He smiled, but his eyes were busy. You were confused. I kept things moving. You kept your hands in my pockets, I said. Laura cut in. Dad, do not do this. Do not set fire to our lives because a stranger brought you a folder. He wants your money. Alex shook his head once. I am not here for money, he said. I am here because good men should not be stripped in their own homes. I studied him when he said that. He held my gaze. His voice did not tremble. I believed him. I heard Ruth in the space around those words. I closed the folder. I pushed my chair back. We are leaving, I said to Alex. Where? Brent said, laugh gone now. My shop, I said. I have work to do. I have your keys, Brent said, patting his pocket. Then I will go without them, I said. I picked up my coat. The weight of it steadied me. Alex opened the door and stood to the side, letting me walk first. That small thing mattered. We stepped out into the morning. Behind me, Laura said my name like a warning. I did not turn. I did not stop. I knew exactly where I needed to go. Alex drove. I watched the town slide by like it always had. The shop smelled like oil and old wood. The sign with my name hung crooked. I had hung it straight every spring. I would do that again. Alex held the door and followed me inside, quiet. He did not touch anything until I told him to. I went to the back. The safe sat behind the tool chest. I spun the dial and felt the numbers click under my fingers. My hands remembered even when my face felt older than I wanted to admit. The door opened with a sigh that sounded like memory. Inside were small, important things. My father's watch, a blue envelope with Ruth's writing on it, a small box with our wedding rings from the first day we could afford gold. I set them aside with care. I found the key to the bank box and the original titles for the truck and the lake place. I held the papers like they were thin glass. "Do not read," I said to Alex. "Just hold them for a second." He did. He stood with his back to the open door, a shield without making a thing of it. He did not look down. He looked at me and waited. "I am thinking about what is best," I said. My voice sounded like it came from the floor. "For my family. For Ruth's name. For my own spine. You do not owe me a thing," he said. "You owe yourself the truth." I put the key and the titles in my inside pocket. I put Ruth's blue envelope in there too. I closed the safe and spun the dial. The sound calmed me. We sat on 2 stools. I told him about Ruth's laugh when we hung that sign. I told him about the winter we almost lost the house and how we kept it. I told him how Laura used to sweep the shop floor for quarters I would hide on purpose to make her feel like the world had treasure in it. "I do not want to break my daughter," I said. "I do not want to turn her away." "You are not," he said. "You are turning away a man who is breaking you." He did not say Brent's name. He did not need to. I took out my phone. I texted Laura and Brent. "Lunch at my house tomorrow, noon. No arguments. Come." I sent the same to my sister. I stared at the word sent. It felt like a point of no return. Alex stood. "Do you want me there?" he said. "Yes," I said. "Sit at my table. Listen. Do not fight. Let me do the talking." He nodded. He looked around the shop. "Do you want me to straighten that sign?" "Yes," I said. He did it with both hands, careful until the edge lined up. It made something in me settle. "Tomorrow," I said, tucking my coat tight. "At my table. I will speak first." I knew what justice looked like in my house. It's a table, my documents, and my voice, and my legacy. I'm not going to watch how my ungrateful children are trying to steal my destiny. Soon, the money will stop bleeding, and my house will be only mine again. But before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. Monday at noon, the house smelled like coffee and wood polish. I set the table myself. No cake, no balloons, just plates and a stack of papers that meant something to me because they were true, not because they were complicated. The DNA report, the messages about my lake place, the bank alerts, and the blue envelope Ruth had left, still sealed. Laura came in slow, chin high. Brent followed, eyes sweeping the room. My sister took a chair without fuss and folded her hands. Alex sat near the end, quiet, eyes on me. "We will not turn this into a circus," Laura said. "Dad, we will help you get out of this." "No," I said. The word landed hard. "I am not out of anything. I am in my house." I slid the messages across to Brent. "You tried to sell my place. You did it behind my back." He stared. He reached for a smile and could not find one. "I looked into options," he said. "You were drifting. I acted." "You stole," I said. I did not raise my voice. "And you will not touch my things again." I pushed the bank alerts to the center. "These withdrawals stopped today," I said. "I called the bank this morning. I told them to watch every dollar. That is done." Brent's face flushed. Laura's color drained. My sister let out a breath I had not heard her holding. "I am not kicking anyone out of my life," I said. "But the rules are mine." "You do not get to vote on my life." Laura's voice shook. "You would do this to your own daughter?" "I would protect your mother's name," I said. "I would protect what we built." I took the blue envelope from my pocket. I looked at Ruth's writing. I did not open it. It was enough that it existed. It reminded me that she and I had always made our decisions in the open. I put it back. Brent reached for the DNA report like it offended him just by being. My hand met his halfway. I did not move. He stopped. For the first time since Saturday, he looked small to me. "Here is what will happen," I said. "You will step away from my accounts, from my keys, from my house. If you want to see me, you will call. You will ask. If you threaten me, I will respond." "Respond how?" Brent said. It came out through his teeth. "Don't test me," I said. No one spoke. The clock on the wall ticked. Alex sat very still, like a pillar a house could lean on. I gathered the papers, stood, and set a small ring of new keys on the table. The metal sounded louder than it should have. Laura stared at the keys. Brent stared at me. He understood what that sound meant. After lunch, the house filled with small hammer sounds. I changed the locks. I changed the code on the back door. I put the passcode back and changed the number. I moved my important things to places I chose. I shut off the smart speaker Brent had brought me for Christmas and set it in a drawer. The quiet felt like mine again. Alex followed my lead without taking over. He held the ladder. He handed me screws. He checked the windows. He did not ask for stories I did not want to tell. He stood where a son would stand when a father worked on his own house. "I froze the card," I said, more to myself than to him. "I called the bank and told them to call me if anyone tried to move money. I am done being polite about theft. That is not cruelty," he said. "That is care." We took a drive to the hardware store for extra keys. The clerk called me by my last name, the way he always had. He made 4 copies and put them in a small envelope. I gave one to my sister. I kept the rest. I did not give any to Laura or Brent. My hands did not shake when I made that decision. On the way back, Alex drove. He asked if I wanted him to stay in the spare room for a few nights. "Only if it helps you," he said. "If it makes trouble, I will get a motel." "It helps," I said. "Your mother would have told me to say yes." Back home, I packed a small bag with my most important papers and put it under my bed. I checked the back door twice. I brewed a fresh pot of coffee. The bitter taste steadied me. I could feel a line being drawn in the floorboards. At dusk, a car pulled up hard. Brent came up the walk with his shoulders forward. He tried the front door. The new lock did its work. He rattled it like a man shaking a cage that used to be open. "Dad," he called. "Open up. You cannot do this. You are making a mess." I stood in the hallway where he could see me through the sidelight. I did not open the door. Alex stood at the end of the hall, hands in his pockets, quiet as a tree. "We will talk in the morning," I said, "at a proper table." With people who can hear, Brent set his palms on the glass and leaned in as if he could press through. "You will regret this." "We will see," I said. He stared at me for a long second. Then he stepped back, angry and small at once. He walked to his car. He sat there with the engine running. He did not drive away. The porch light cut a yellow circle on the steps. I did not move. I kept my eyes on the door. The night had work to do. By morning the house felt steady again. I made eggs and poured coffee. Alex took the trash to the curb without being asked. It felt like normal, the kind we used to have before everything got loud. Then Laura came fast up the walk with her phone out and the kids trailing behind her. She did not knock. She hit the bell and held it. I opened the door and she began filming my face like I was a suspect. "Say hi, Dad," she said. "Tell everyone you are okay. Tell them you know this boy is scamming you." Put the phone down, I said. No filming in my house. Your house? She said, eyebrows up. You do not even remember where you put your wallet. He moved in overnight. Do you hear how that looks? I looked past the phone at my grandchildren. Their eyes were wide and tired. They did not understand what game the adults were playing. I felt a sharp pain in my chest that was not my heart. It was the sight of children learning fear at a door. No one is replacing you, I said. No one is taking your place. But this ends. You will not steal from me. You will not sell what is mine. She kept recording. He is confused, she said to the camera. He is being manipulated. Alex stepped into view at my shoulder and said nothing. He looked at the children and gave a small nod. He did not crowd Laura. He did not flinch from the lens. My rules, I said. Phone down or leave. She lowered the phone a few inches but kept it on. Her mouth shook. I have taken care of you, she said. Brent has kept this house standing. You cannot throw us away. I thought of every late bill I had paid, every shelf I had built, every night I had sat by Ruth's bed and kept count of her breaths. I was not a burden. I was the man who carried the weight. You are my daughter, I said. I will always love you. But you do not get to hurt me and call it care. My sister came up the walk with her key already out. She took the children's hands and said, "Let us get breakfast." Laura watched them go. The door closed. The house went quiet again. Enough, I said to the silence, to myself, to the day. We make it clean now. Alex drove while I watched the town slide by in clean, known pieces. I felt older and sharper at the same time. The bank lobby smelled like paper and polish. Ms. Patel met us at the door. She knew my name. She saw my face and understood the shape of the day. She led us to a small glass room and laid out my old signature card and the withdrawal slips. The difference hit me like a straight line. My letters sit low and steady. The new ones leaned light as weeds. Would you like to see footage? She asked. Yes. She tapped a screen. Timestamps. Angles. A man I knew crossing the frame with a fast, confident stride. His wrist flashed. The watch was Brent's. He likes to turn his cuff to show it when he laughs. He did that in my kitchen the night he took my phone. I felt my throat tighten. I did not look away. I counted to 4 like I did at Ruth's bedside when the nights were long. The counting steadied me. I need every dollar watched, I said. Call me if anything moves. Then call my sister. Then call this number. I slid Alex's cell on a folded slip. Fewer words made more sense today. She nodded. Her face didn't do pity. It did respect. She printed still frames and a short log. She squared the edges before handing them to me. I liked that. Do you want to file today? She asked. Not today, I said. Today is the door-shutting day. The stack felt heavier than paper. It felt like choice. I thought of Ruth's quiet verdicts at our kitchen table. She never shouted. She decided. That is what this was. Outside, the air was cold and exact. Alex did not ask if I was all right. He knew I was not and knew I would be. We walked to the truck without a word. The engine turned. The blue bank sign disappeared in the mirror. I did not look back. The real estate office bell rang like it always had. The agent looked up, went pale, and sat straighter. I did not want theater. I wanted truth in a small room. She started talking fast. I let her. She told me Brent had asked for a quiet listing. No public site, just 3 cash buyers who liked speed. He had said I was moving to assisted living. He had said he could sign. Her voice shook on assisted. There was a buyer, she added. Cash. Inspection waived. I saw the dock. I saw Ruth's feet in the water. I did not let that memory make decisions for me. Memory can help. It cannot drive. You will not touch my place, I said. If he calls, you hang up. Yes, sir. She slid a printout across the desk. Dates and texts I had already seen. now with her letterhead. She had the grace to be ashamed. "If you want a letter, I can—" "Plain, short," I said. She nodded and began to type. Keys snapped like nails going in straight. Alex stood behind me, quiet and tall. He was not there to threaten. He was there to witness. That mattered. My phone buzzed on the desk. Brent calling. Then again. A new text. "You're sick. He's using you." Another. "I'll fix this with or without you." I let them stack up. I would not do this through glass and air. This part needed chairs. The agent printed her note and signed it. I folded the page once. It went into the inside pocket with the bank stack and Ruth's blue envelope. I felt the press of them against my chest. Outside, the street felt meaner than in the morning. The diner smelled like bacon. A man laughed on a sidewalk I had swept in front of my shop for 20 years. Life kept moving. Good. That meant I could move too. We had just set plates on the table when the knock landed. 3 hard hits. Not family. I opened the door to a patrolman on the step and Brent behind him, lips pressed thin in a performance of concern. "Evening," the officer said. "Welfare check." "I am Henry Cole," I said. "I'm well." "Come into the entry." Without him, Brent tried to angle in. Alex turned his body once and filled the doorway. He did not touch. He did not need to. The officer asked me the simple things: name, birth date, address. He studied my face while I answered. I showed him the new locks, the dinner on plates, the spare room bed made for a guest. I pointed to my sister's key on the hook. I let him see an ordinary life lined up neatly. "I'm not confused," I said. "I'm careful." He looked at Brent. "Sir, you can check on him tomorrow if he wants that." "Tonight, he's fine. He's asked you to leave color rose in Brent's cheeks." He tried a last line. "He thinks this boy is his son." He isn't. I did not explain blood to a man who had emptied my accounts. I didn't defend Alex. He didn't need it. He stood behind me like a column. "Tomorrow," I said. 9, Credit Union Meeting Room. You, Laura, me, my sister, 1 table. Clean Brent held my eyes a beat too long, then walked off hard, boots loud on my steps. The officer tipped his hat and left without fanfare. The porch light threw a flat circle on the mat. I shut the door and set the deadbolt. The click sounded like a sentence ending. We ate cold supper. It tasted like resolve. The house breathed steady again. Tomorrow would be a harder day. That was good. Harder meant clearer. The bank meeting room was small and cold. A glass wall on one side, a simple table in the center. My sister sat at my left, Alex at my right, Laura and Brent across from me. No cakes, no smiles, just air that felt like clean steel. I set 4 things down: the DNA report, the bank stills with timestamps, the agent's 1-page note, Ruth's blue envelope. I let the weight of them sit. I did not push them across. I let the silence do some work. "You took from me," I said to Brent. "You tried to sell what was not yours." That stops now. Brent stared at the photos. His face went red, then flat. "You are being played," he said. "He is not your son." I opened the blue envelope. Ruth's handwriting made my hands ache. The paper crackled. Her words were plain. "Protect what we built. Be kind, not soft. When they press, stand." I set the letter down without letting anyone else touch it. "You always love to perform," Laura said to me. "This is a show." "The show ended Saturday," I said. "This is a decision." I slid the stack an inch toward the center. "Here are my terms. You return what you took. You step away from my keys, my accounts, and my doors. You do not enter my house without an invitation. You do not speak for me. You do not sell anything with my name on it." "And if we do not?" Brent asked. "Then I file," I said. "And I do not stop." My voice stayed steady. I am not here to humiliate you. I am here to put my life back where it belongs. Laura's eyes were wet, but her mouth stayed hard. You are choosing a stranger over your own blood. I looked at Alex. He did not move. He did not need to. I am choosing truth, I said. I am choosing your mother's legacy. My sister took the still frames and stacked them again, square. You heard your father, she said. Now hear this. If you love him, you will step back. Brent leaned forward like a man about to run into a wall. Then he sat back. You will regret this, he said. I used to regret being quiet, I said. Not anymore. I gathered the papers. I stood. The chair legs scraped. The sound felt like a door closing. We left them with the air and the glass and the shape of the choice. We drove straight to the small office over the hardware store, where the town foundation kept its books. I had called ahead. A woman named Rena waited with a pot of coffee and a clipboard that had more lines than I cared about. I told her what I wanted in 20 words. I want the lake place safe in Ruth's name, I said, for the town kids who fix things with their hands. I keep it while I'm alive. They get it after. She nodded. She did not try to sell me bigger ideas. She wrote the name I asked for on a plain form. The Ruth Cole Bench and Bursary. I signed where she pointed. Alex watched, quiet and present. The pen felt heavy. Good heavy. This was not about punishment. It was about direction. Ruth and I had pulled that dock through 2 winters of ice. We had built it plank by plank. If my own people were willing to carve it up, then I would give it to people who would use it right. Rena slid a simple receipt across the table. We can announce later, she said. Or not. Not, I said. Quiet is fine. Outside, the sky had the hard blue of a cold day. I sent Laura one text. You have 7 days to return what you took. After that, I file. You can come see me by appointment. You cannot come in. I sent Brent nothing. He already knew. At home, I took the old wooden bench plaque from the closet. Ruth and I had burned our names into it years ago. I rubbed a little oil into the letters with my thumb. I would put it back where it belonged when the ice was gone. The thought steadied me. Alex checked the back door. He checked the lock on the shop. He did it without noise. You all right? He asked. I am, I said. It surprised me how true that was. He smiled, small and real. Good, he said. What's next? We make dinner, I said. Then we sleep. I turned off the smart speaker in the drawer and shut it with a clean click. Paper was a lever. The house was the story. It was mine again. We went to the lake on Saturday with a toolbox and a thermos. The air cut our cheeks and cleared the mind. The ice near the shore had a thin skin. The dock groaned once when we stepped on, then settled like it remembered us. You ever fish? I asked. Not well, he said. We will teach you, I said. We worked without too many words. The board sat flat again. The dock felt right underfoot. We poured coffee into tin cups and stood there, looking at the gray water and the line of pines Ruth loved. I could hear her laugh where the wind hit the reeds. Not a ghost. A memory that did not hurt. My phone buzzed. A text from Laura. We will return what we took. Give me time. I typed back. Good. We will talk when it's done. I love you. Do better. I put the phone away. We sat on the bench with our names burned into it. The wood was cold and honest. Alex ran a thumb over the letters. We made that the summer we paid off the house, I said. It shows, he said. I turned to him. You didn't take anything from me. You helped me keep it. He held my eyes. I did what a son should do. We packed the tools. The board sat flat. The dock held. On the walk back, I felt right in my own skin. The house would be on my terms, The money would stay where it belonged. Ruth's name would stand. And I had a son beside me. That was all I wanted. I never thought about that question before. If a son you never knew stood by you while others took from you, who is your family then? Share your thoughts with me in the comments.
My grandpa's worst really happened. I believe him. If you want more true tales stories like this, hit subscribe.